Hello, Revere, and welcome to the December month. We have the month of holidays. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to all out there. And I believe we have a special guest coming here shortly. Oh, I hear him knocking. Come right in.
Uh-oh. For the December. Look who's here.
Welcome, Santa.
Wow.
Claus.
Wow.
Welcome.
Wow.
Merry Christmas.
Stephen.
Very good. Thank you,
Good to see
Santa.
you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas, Santa.
Merry Christmas, Morris.
Wow.
Good to
Well,
see you guys.
Boy, you made it fast here from the North Pole.
Listen, them reindeer, they're itching to go.
Right.
Imagine
Stephen,
that.
you got some stuff you got to do here?
Yeah, and I just want to let people know before we start that this is the December Revere Senior News. So, you know, we got all excited because we had a feeling you were going to show up, and wow, here you are. So I just want to let people know initially that at the Senior Center in December, we have a lot of things going on. First and foremost, we have December 20th, okay? That's our Christmas party. And guess who's going to be there first, around 11:15? This young man.
Truly.
Santa Claus is going to be there. I'll take pictures of anybody that wants to come in. Seniors who have signed up for the special monthly luncheon only. They can have their picture taken with Santa. We have 12 o'clock lunch. And we have a great singer coming in, Bo Parrish. You guys know Bo Parrish?
I know Bo Paris.
So Bo Parrish will be there singing rhythm and blues and soul music, and it'll be a fun Christmas party. So we're looking forward to that. But you have to make your reservations ahead of time. I have to shut it off at 100 people. It's $4 for a full baked ham dinner, seeing Santa and having your picture taken, and Bo Parrish. What more can you want?
Sounds like a wonderful day to me.
Yep. So it's make sure you call up the center at 781-286-8156 and give us your name. And we do prefer that you pay ahead of time. That's $4, okay? The other thing I want to mention is on December 13th. That's just a regular luncheon. However, the St. Mary's High School of Lynn dance troupe will be performing a Christmas spectacular. And Morris, you've seen them many times in the
They're
past.
great,
The
great.
girls are great. They sing and dance, Santa.
I've seen them too.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, they're
They
very
put
good.
on a nice show.
So that's just a regular lunch, but you still have to make a reservation for your lunch. Just call a day ahead of time. So coming at the Senior Center in December, we have the Senior Book Club, and that is going to take place on December 20th, the same date as the party. That's from 2:30 to 3:30. If you're not familiar with the book club, we have a librarian, Janice Van Hoekeman, who brings over the books. They determine what they're going to read. They have a discussion on it after you've read it. So it's a great activity at the Senior Center. The other thing that we have is blood pressure and consultation with Carol Donovan, and we all know Carol, and she's our city nurse. She will be there on December 6th and the 20th from 11 to 12 for blood pressure and individual consultation. Monthly hearing program with Mary Marino. Now, as of today, she will be there maybe the 13th of December, but I want you to call the Senior Center because she was in flux with her schedule, and it's a very busy month in December. So call the Senior Center to make sure you know when she's going to be there. Our monthly podiatrist, Dr. Kaplan. Happy Hanukkah, Dr. Kaplan. He'll be there on Wednesday, the first Wednesday of December, and I believe that is the 5th. So he's there early. All you have to do is show up, and he'll stay until everybody's feet are taken care of. And Barbara McDonald will be there as well. Who is she? She's the chair masseuse. She charges $10, and she'll be there on Monday, the 17th of December, and Tuesday, the 18th. And it's always a good idea to call the Senior Center because there's always changes going on, particularly in the holiday season. So those are kind of the quick and dirty announcements that I want to make. We have a special guest, so I don't want to take up any more time regarding that.
Right. Before we start the show full speed ahead, Santa, give us a little history about yourself, because you've been around a long, long time.
When I think about how long I've been around, it's scary. And before I go any further, I want to say to Stephen, would you give out the phone number of the Senior Center? Because you've given people an awful lot of options and things to do and whatnot, and told them to call, but I think they might need the phone number to call.
It's 781-286-8156, and I believe it's also on the screen that you're watching on the show.
Yes, as I look out at the feed, I can see that it is at the bottom of the screen. So if you want to take advantage of some of these things Stephen has told you about, I would advise you to call that number and make your reservations early because these things do fill up. As far as my history, Well, I would say I don't want to, exact dates kind of evade me. My age is getting to me a little bit. But it started in Norway and Sweden, that little threesome there, Denmark, that people started exchanging gifts to celebrate what Christmas actually celebrates, is the birth of Christ. And it kind of spread. My family moved to Germany, and that's where it really took off. So it reached the point where I found a way of conveying, means of conveyance by using a sleigh. And what eventually happened was I had reindeer that were pretty much in infancy. And somebody had asked me how come they have German names, and it's because at the time when this all started, it started in Germany. So it just was a natural thing to give these reindeer German names. And then when Rudolph came along, I just kind of followed suit and gave him a name that was pretty much predominant to Germany. Although Rudolph is, in an awful lot of places, a very common name. So, in any case, I find myself in the present now, and to be perfectly honest, I have a staff that you wouldn't believe. I said that, the nation of elves has grown to a tremendous size, and they're very good, and they're very well trained as far as working and doing what they have to do, and but they need overseeing. There are problems that arise with every business. There's problems that arise, so they need supervision. So periodically, I have the opportunity to get away. I enjoy, like I come to Revere, I come to a couple of the neighboring towns, and I go to Boston. I'm all over the place, and it's because I have this miracle that enables me to be in a lot of places and a lot of times. But it's like if you go to malls, you'll see guys dressed up in Santa suits. I says, and those are my helpers. I says, nobody in their right mind could think it would be physically possible for me to do and cover the amount of territory that I cover. But I do, it's kind of sectioned off. That there's certain areas that I absolutely have to cover, and there are other areas where I have designated people to take care of those areas for me. And there's no crime in all in calling them Santa Claus too, because they perform all the functions and do all the little tasks that I ask them to do. So, and like I say, up to now, it's worked out. And then it's a question of adding as we need to add, and producing. It's like the electronic stuff. I have a whole staff now that handles that electronic stuff. And in a lot of ways, we make a lot of things. So a lot of them get distributed to some of these people that, sell toys or distribute toys and deliver them. So that this way, this takes a little bit of the burden off too, because if you're not aware of it, I'll make you aware of it. The world we live in is growing. It's not getting smaller, it's getting bigger. So it's a much larger community that I have to deal with that when I first started this. I ain't going to tell you how old I am. Me and the ladies that I'm friendly with, and of course, especially Mrs. Claus. If I told you how old I was, then you'd be able to figure out how old she was, and I'd have to move. So, gentlemen, do we have any questions?
Yes,
Stephen, I got to tell you this. Stephen's got a, you can tell from lack of use. His hat goes on once a year. Mine gets beat to death, and it's because of the use. I admire Stephen's hat.
Well,
Morris, you wanted to ask me a question?
Yep, I would like to ask you a question. As I was looking down here, you've got 3 keys here. And I only got 1 key, so you must own 3 houses?
It's a question that's constantly asked whenever I'm confronted by a group of children. And they ask me what the keys are for. And my designated assistants have a designated key for the areas that they work in. Now, where I never know where I'm going to be Christmas Eve explicitly, guess what? Mrs. Claus draws up the routes. She tells us where we have to go. But these keys enable me, and chimneys are kind of getting to be a thing of the past. So what these keys enable me to do, just on Christmas Eve, there's a certain amount of magic that goes into everything I do. And on Christmas Eve, These keys, one of these 3 keys, will get me into an apartment, wherever I happen to be located at the time, that enables me to get in and put presents under the tree and eat all them delicious cookies that are left for me, and that make my reindeer very happy with the carrots you leave for them. But that's what the keys are for, so that no child is denied, and I don't have ever been denied access to anybody's house. I'm able to get in.
That's great. Pete, I believe
Well,
you have a question.
I have tons of questions, but
Let's go.
here's the thing. I mean, I'm looking at you, Santa. You're looking pretty good. And if I was Santa delivering toys and I was being left cookies and milk or candy or Reese's peanut butter cups or whatever, I don't know how you keep your weight down. How do you do it?
Did you, how many streets do you think are in the immediate area of where we're sitting now?
I would guess at least 45, 50.
Well, if you figure that it probably takes me about a minute and a half to cover those 50 streets, what do you think keeps me in shape? By the time I get to the 3rd house on the street, I've burned off the cookies from the first one.
Santa, excuse me, if you want to really eat some real good food and real good cookies, you should come down to our Revere Senior Center, because there, well, I hate to say this, eating there, you will put on weight because the food is terrific.
I do plan on making a stop there on the 20th at the Christmas party. I've kind of been gone there the last couple of years.
Great.
And that's why I go there, is because I'm treated so great. And like you said, Morris, the food is unbelievable. It's an opportunity to Santa. When it comes to food, Santa don't miss too many meals. So that's something that I look forward to. And then what's her name? Oh, God. Colanino, the Colanino girl.
Rose Colanino.
She has the most
Roseanne.
a stunning array of hats that I've seen in my existence. So I don't know what she'll have on for a hat this year, but I'm quite sure it'll be quite interesting. So I wouldn't miss that.
There's something to be said about her, and I'll leave it at that. She'll know I'm kidding if she watches this.
Go right ahead.
So
Steve.
anyway, I know you obviously, they say Santa, that Christmas is for kids, but we're all kids at heart, and particularly the seniors. And I think they look forward to having you come as much as the children.
Well, the thing that I've discovered, being one myself, is that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to come and see you, and what happens is the worst thing that happens to a lot of our seniors is neglect. That people can be sitting waiting for visits that never come. They wait for invitations that never happen. And if nothing else, I get the opportunity, and as I said, being a senior myself, it gives me the opportunity to spread a smile. See, what my job is all about is not about bringing toys, it's about bringing smiles. I see kids, and I create these situations. It's like Sunday, I'll be in Revere for the tree lighting, and afterwards they're going to have me upstairs in the council chamber taking pictures. And what it does is to quote some famous entertainers, it gives me an opportunity to meet my public. Because most of the time when I go to kids' houses, they're asleep. So this gives me a chance to communicate back and forth. But with the elderly, like I said, the little special attention that gets paid to us is much appreciated. So if I, in my job, can go out and pay a little attention and spread a little cheer, there's not a thing in the world. I mean, this is the time of year that we talk about having Christmas spirit and having love for one another. And if we don't show it, then it's just something we talk about.
Well, I'm sorry, I thought you were done. No, that's a good segue, because I was going to talk about, you talk about seniors being alone and needing some joy and some smiles. That's why I encourage anybody who has never been to the senior center to come. There's nothing worse than being alone and isolated and not having anyone to talk to, a few laughs, even listening to Morris's music that he plays every day. There's so many things that we have at the senior center, and we actually have 2 van services, Santa. As you can see, this is a very informative show, so we just kind of ad-lib some of it.
Right, tell us a little about those.
Well, the van service is
right.
providing people a chance to come to and from the center, Santa, and to and from appointments.
He'll get it right before we're done.
I know.
No,
really.
he's doing fine. Leave him.
No, I'm all right. So it gives people a chance to, go to and from the senior center or to and from an appointment or the CVS or the Walgreens or the bank or whatever. So they do get out and about and at a very low cost, affordable very good service. So we encourage people to call the senior center or to come and just stop by. And that was a great segue because I wanted to talk about that as well.
And if they're on a wheelchair, do they have, the vans can
Yeah.
take some of them?
We have 2 vans, a 2015
And
van.
they both can take a wheelchair?
Yes.
Oh.
We have a 2015 8-passenger van that I got as a result of a written grant 3 years ago, and it seats 8. However, if you have a wheelchair in the van, and we have the lift to take the wheelchair up into the van, you lose 2 seats for that particular run.
Right.
The other one, we just bought a 2018 van. It's a 14-seater, and it's 12 seats if you use the wheelchair. So we do have people who use wheelchairs and do come to the senior center as well.
Great. Santa, I'd like to ask you a question. Since you
I
deliver...
just want to make a comment here.
Shoot.
If my reindeer find out about that van with 14 seats, they're going to want to use that to take a breather every once in a while.
That's a good one.
Hey, that was good. You ought to come down to our senior center just telling jokes during the year instead of the one day a year that you work.
Oh, wait a minute. I have to say, he must work 364 days a year because there's a lot of preparation that goes into that.
What are some of the toys that the kids ask for mostly? What are the most toys you bring them, if I may ask you?
Well, the funny part about it is when I first started, you know, I mean, neighbors contributed to the cause and I delivered the goods. But it would be fruit and vegetables. You know, food was a precious commodity.
It still is.
And, you know, but I mean, you know, it's like something that totally gets by, especially with kids. Because kids want the latest cell phones, you know, they're up to 10 now, I think. But they want all the other equipment that goes with them. You know, and it's with these games, I'll tell you, some of the games I see out there is scary. But they're, you know, kids want them. Parents okay it when they send their letters in to me. So, you know, the thing is I check the naughty and nice list, and if they comply that they're on the nice list, I try and get them what they ask for. But now electronics are a big thing. I mean, we kind of got BB guns out of the picture when that kid Ralphie was worried, in the movie, was worried about getting his eye shot out. So we don't deal, I personally don't like dealing with guns. You know, kids will come of an age when they can make a decision with their parents' help about what they want to do. So I don't want to enforce guns upon kids and have them looking at them trying to figure out what they work, because it's the last thing you need is kids with guns.
So,
But-
okay.
It pretty much, you know, it's a pretty much stretched out thing as far as,
Do you step by the schools too sometimes?
yeah. Well, it's like I said, when the time allocated to me for these, you know, city and town visits, whatever presents itself, whatever I'm asked to do, if I have the time and it comes within the time frame I'm there, I don't have a problem doing it. You know, it's like my job is to spread smiles. You know, throw a little love around. Love's not a dirty word, you know? It's like some people trade it. And it's like also to make people aware of what you know, I mean, I know that with the Festival of Hanukkah has to do with lighting the candles because of the Maccabees defending Jerusalem. I says, I know what the basis of Christmas is, and I you know, it's celebrated on the 25th because
Right.
that was the birth of Christ. Now, what different religions and what reverence they hold Christ in, that's up to each individual sect. But it's up to me to, because of the responsibility that's come my way inadvertently, you know, it just is something that's progressed to the point of where it is today. I mean, I don't want people to forget Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is a very, very important day in a lot of families' lives. But it seems like commercially,
It was gone this year.
it's getting, you know, kicked to death, that every time you turn around, it's Christmas, you know,
Right.
and it's like commercials, spend, buy. You know, trust me, Santa Claus is coming to town, so we'll take care of that.
I
Go
got
ahead,
one
Morris.
question for you, if I may. Where did the concept of the black coal come in? You know, have you ever delivered black coal to anybody?
To be perfectly honest with you, no, I haven't. But in certain areas of the world, coal is on the same level as gold,
Right.
because there's places, and a lot of people don't even realize that places that have a climate that you think is automatically going to be warm all the time isn't. So they require a way to heat their house. I mean, in Ireland, they cut up what they call peat moss, and out of the bogs in Ireland, and that's what they dry it out, and that's what they burn. It's another form of coal. So coal, it's the irony of it is that in all the stories, the movies, Santa's going to bring you coal. Coal in a lot of areas of the world is a very precious commodity. It's worth a lot more to people than toys and gifts are. But the significance of it all is because of the fact that it's been placed in such a lesser light compared to the wonderful toys that Santa brings and this and that. But there's a lesson to be taught. See, and the lesson to be taught is if you want the real nice stuff that Santa's capable of bringing, you got to be good. And if you're not good, needless to say, now with another commercialized item, the elves on the shelf, but they all report in. So we have a running dialogue about what's going on with kids today. And, it serves in good stead to have that information. But we've never had any kid that I can remember, and all the time I've been doing this, the significance of being on the naughty list has been that extreme that they wouldn't get something nice and a gift for Christmas.
But when I'm at the senior center, everybody dedicates a song to me. And you know what the name of the song is?
You're nobody till somebody loves you.
No, I'm getting nothing for Christmas. Steve, I'm sure you want to say something.
Can I say something here? Because
Sure.
it was
It's all
something
yours.
we talked about before we even started this. I've become aware through friends of mine that it's been going on for a while now, but now it seems there's more of it happening because of the season. That people are calling up, and basically they're victims of the elderly. And, it's a scare telephone call that if you don't do this and you don't do that because you owe money to the IRS, they'll start seizing you, garnishing your Social Security or your pension checks and all other affiliated, accessories. My advice to you is if you get a call with somebody saying, and now they're using a tape, so you don't even get a person to talk to. But what I would do is check the number if you have caller ID on your phone, from where it comes from, and call your local police. I mean, I know this plays in Revere, but the people, the audience has to have friends. Make them aware of this, that it's going on, so that when the phone rings and they get a call, they don't have to get afraid. They have to get the information so they can relay it to the police and they can put a stop to this. Right. That's all. Stephen, you had something you want to?
No, those are all great points. At the Senior Center, we have a lot of exercise programs, Santa. We have Zumba Gold. We have combination exercises. We have core and balance fall prevention exercises. We have Tai Chi. We have chair yoga. We have all kinds of things. These all help seniors exercise. Helps them physically, obviously, but also gives them the right positivity in their mind. And where you deal with a lot of animals in your business and rely on reindeer to get you around, I'm wondering if there's any special exercises that the reindeer do during the year to stay in shape for that one big night.
Well, I know that a lot of folks in Revere and now they're talking about development in an area it's down the street from where we're sitting, and that's Suffolk Downs.
Right.
And at Suffolk Downs, it was a running rate and a working racetrack for a lot of years. But I have a track that I have in existence up the North Pole. And they have to get out every day and go through their paces. And then we go out and we take flying drills. Because now with the influx of airplanes, and every year they increase and there's more and more flights, I have to be aware of what the different flight patterns are at the different places I'm going, and I have to pass that along to my associates, to my helpers, so that we don't interfere with air traffic, but I also have to have sensitivity training with my reindeer, so that when they get near airplanes, fly over an airport, the noise doesn't totally distract them and panic them. So it's an ongoing process that they get physical training, but they also get mental training to respond to the environment they're in when we're in it.
Right.
That explains it, doesn't it, Morris?
Oh, definitely.
Really, that's great.
Can I ask you a question about reindeer? We have about 3 minutes left, so I'll just take a few seconds. What do you feed the reindeers?
They pretty much are like goats. They will eat anything, but what we do is, we give them a certain ration of like oats, ground oats like you would feed a horse, wood chips, they're big on wood chips. If you got, what do you call it? Oh God, I can't mulch on your property. It could be in tree. You could find a hole in your mulch when you go out the next morning,
If
Christmas
people
Day.
want to donate food to the reindeer, how do they get it to you?
Carrots, vegetables, you can put them out when you put out the milk and cookies. They're much appreciated. And believe me when I tell you, if you think I digest and get rid of and burn off the cookies, you ain't seen nothing like what these reindeers can do. But they're very careful about where they leave, what they leave, and, so that it's upward and onward.
Steve, we got 2.5 minutes, so let's go around.
Well, we've
with
had a
it.
lot of fun. I want to thank Santa for coming by.
I need just one more thing, and
Shoot.
it will be very brief.
Go right. Go
But any of you people who do not participate in the activities at this senior center have no idea what you're missing out. The gentleman to my left, Stephen, puts together a program and it gets the best people available to do and put on these programs. And my musical genius to my right,
Thank you,
he
Santa.
provides music to go along with all the activities that are there, and especially during the lunches. So if you're not taking advantage of it, you're cheating yourself. Get involved. The number is on the bottom of the screen.
I'd like to say this to you, Santa. You know, they voted me the second best DJ in the whole country. Do you know why?
The first one died.
No, because everyone else was tied for first. I thought you'd want to hear that. Okay.
I'm sorry, Stephen.
No,
I
that's
didn't mean
right.
to cut you off.
Actually, you were right on target because I was going to, as a final summary here, just encourage seniors who haven't been to the senior center to come on down. I'll give you a personal tour. You can go on www.revere.org, look up Elder Affairs Department. I have a walkthrough video there, so if you can't get out of your house to come down and visit us, at least you can see what's going on, and then you can call us up and we can make arrangements to have you come down. Get out of your house, get out of your apartment, get out of your condo, come down, meet people, have lunch, listen to the music, take part in activities. Even if you just come to socialize, it's a great place. You need to be with other people.
Right, thank you. So I'm going to close up by saying I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, and a Happy New Year. You do the same, and then let Santa finish it off.
Merry Christmas, everybody, and Happy Hanukkah.
Those who participate, I will look forward to seeing you in person at the Christmas party at the Senior Center the 20th. And if not, I may wake some of you up when I come in your house to Christmas Eve in the course of my travels. But if I don't, whatever your seasonal holiday is that comes at this time of year, may you find as much enjoyment in it as I do, because it's a time to express and share love with all your people that you care about, and then enjoy yourselves. You know, this is not a time of grief and sorrow. It's a time for enjoyment.
Right.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and whatever else. If
Right.
I left anything out, I apologize.
Santa, I want to say thank you for coming. A Merry Christmas and a Happy, Healthy New Year to you, to all, and to our troops. God bless you all out there for serving and those that have served. God bless our great country, the United States of America. And thank you again, Santa, for taking the time to come down and spend a half an hour with us. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Great.